All right. It is now 7 o'clock. I call the June 2nd, 2026 regular meeting of the City Council to order. Our invocation this evening is given by Brian Nevins of Calvary Chapel of Northern Kentucky. It's wonderful to see you.
If you would like to join me in prayer, please. Our Lord and God, we thank you that you invite us to come to you with all our needs and the needs of others. Help us number our days so that we may be of the greatest benefit to those around us. Thank you for your great provision, for a wonderful place to live, and for the privilege of gathering in self-government, recognizing the responsibilities and freedoms it carries. As our city grows, our needs change. I ask that this growth and change be according to your will and for the good of our citizens. You tell us that when we need wisdom, we are to come to you, and you will give it in abundance. We need all that you're willing to provide. So we pray now for Mayor Fetty, our city administrator, Mr. Collier, our city attorney, Mr. Gatlin, and for this assembled council. We ask that our city officials be protected by the precious and hard-won rights that have been guarded by brave men and women. May they take their responsibilities to the residents of our city with the gravity and wisdom they need and deserve. We ask that you rebuke and suppress any personal agendas or pursuits for the sake of those who elected them and for their fellow council members and staff. May they be women and men of virtue, integrity, and humble service. And we thank you for their service. So we ask that you grant them wisdom and insight for the needs of our citizens and a singular purpose in their efforts to meet those needs. Hold them to a very high standard of integrity, knowing that they will be accountable for every action. We also thank you for Director Rader, Chiefs Lemming and Godsey, and all our first responders. Keep them safe as they work to keep us safe. We ask for your blessing upon all in our city administration and their families. Grant them personal peace in their lives and joy in their work. We pray for the agenda set before the council today. Please make clear to them what would please you and what would benefit those who live and work in and around our beloved city of Erlanger. May they remember, as your word says, to trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make your path straight. It is in the most blessed name of Jesus that I pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much. Please rise for the pledge.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, Ms. Hoffman, if you can please take roll.
Mr. Cahill, Mr. Farmer,
Here.
Ms. Fields,
Here.
Mr. Hermes,
Here.
Ms. Jasper Lucas,
Here.
Ms. Nicely,
Present.
Ms. Reckers,
Here.
Ms. Skidmore, here. Ms. Wilson.
Here.
All right, thank you so much. All right, you've received a copy of the minutes for the May 5th, 2026 special council meeting legislation, the minutes for the May 5th special council meeting, the Dixie Highway reconfiguration, as well as a copy of the minutes of the May 19th special council meeting. Are there any additions or corrections to be made at this time? Yes.
Mayor, I wanted to see if it might be appropriate for us to add a note onto the special council meeting from May 5th for the Dixie Highway reconfiguration that just maybe notes that there was a really high amount of people here. I mean, between 90 and 100 people in attendance of the meeting, and that the overwhelming majority of the people seem to be against the reconfiguration. And it's just so that our public, that our record shows that the overwhelming majority really does not want this.
Okay. So we have make a motion to make that change. Is anybody second? Okay. Ms. Reckers, any other discussion? Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, so we'll make that addition. Are you okay, Sherry? Yes. Okay. All right, so any other? Oh yeah, motion to approve. Second? Mr. Farmer, any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, motion carried. All right. You've also received a copy of tonight's agenda. Are there any additions to be made at this time? Yes. Oh, can you?
Sorry. I would ask to remove unfinished business mayoral pay ordinance. I think we've discussed that and council was against it. I ask that we remove from the agenda for tonight.
It's just under unfinished business. It's just a topic that will be discussed. It's not for legislation.
I just thought that we've discussed it a lot. I was just asking to have it removed, but it's okay.
Okay, well, yeah. I mean, when I call for unfinished business, anybody can bring up any topic. So even if we strike it from the agenda, it could still be talked about, just to be transparent on it. Okay. Okay, any other changes to the agenda? Okay. All in favor say aye. Opposed? Oh, I didn't get a... Oh, I need a motion. Sorry, guys, I've jumped ahead. Mr. Farmer, Ms. Wilson, any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, motion carried. Okay, so tonight's first special presentation is unfortunately going to be pushed to July. So our honor guard is not able to be present this evening. So we will push that until our July council meeting. All right, next special presentation is our scholar presentation, and I would like to introduce the previous recipient, Lewis, if you want to come to the front. The microphone is actually already on for you.
Hello everyone, my name is Louis Schlosser and I'm a graduate of Beechwood High School and I am the recipient of the 2025 scholarship. Since then, I've completed my first year at Harvard and I'm currently pursuing degrees in government and economics. And before I announce this year's recipient, I would like to say a quick thank you to the city of Erlanger for providing this award for the both of us because it really makes a difference. Today, I would like to announce the 2026 Post-Secondary Education Scholarship winner, Maxwell Robbins. He's a Covington Catholic graduate, and he will be attending the University of Cincinnati. He plans to study computer science and mathematics, earn a master's degree with a focus on AI, work several co-ops or internships, and compete on the university's robotics team. Congratulations, Maxwell.
Right. That one's for you, and then I'll give this to you as well, okay? You don't have to sit down. You can stand up here. Be on the stage. All right. To all to whom these presents shall come. Whereas Maxwell Robbins has been selected as the 23rd recipient of the Erlanger Post-Secondary Education Scholarship. Mr. Robbins is a senior at Covington Catholic High School with a strong passion for STEM. He aspires to pursue a career in engineering where he can apply his skills to solve real-world problems. Mr. Robbins has mentored students at local middle schools through the Middle School Outreach Mentoring Program. He has introduced students to the engineering process and foundational concepts in STEM programming. Mr. Robbins has dedicated over 315 hours of service to his community. He has contributed his time and efforts to several organizations, including the Boy Scouts, Society of St. Vincent de Paul, the Steinford Toy Foundation, and Mary Rose Foundation. Mr. Robbins will be attending the University of Cincinnati to pursue a dual major in computer science and mathematics. His long-term goal is to earn a master's degree specializing in AI and its impact on mobile robotics. The City of Erlanger congratulates and wishes Maxwell much success in his future. Now, therefore, I, Jessica Fetty, Mayor of the City of Erlanger, Kenton County, Kentucky, do hereby proclaim June 4th, 2026 to be Maxwell Robbins Day in Erlanger and do commend this observance to all of our citizens, given under my hand and the seal of the City of Erlanger on this day, June 2nd, 2026. Congratulations. All right. All right, our next special presentation is going to be the Municipal Road Aid Funding, and I'll turn it over to Mr. Eads.
All right, so the municipal road aid funding for fiscal year 26-27, the city received $375,964. The projects listed for a total of $2.5 million include McAlpin Avenue, which will receive a mill and overlay for $500,000. Linwood Avenue is getting concrete replacement and a new sidewalk for $600,000. Graves Avenue from Dixie Highway to Halbert will receive mill and overlay for $240,000. Holmes Street will get a mill and overlay for $105,000. Clay Street also getting a mill and overlay for $270,000. Crescent Avenue will get mill and overlay, a lot of mill and overlay in Erlanger this year, for $200,000. And Sycamore Tree will get concrete replacement with a new sidewalk for $585,000 to the total of $2.5 million. Any discussion on that?
There's actually no comments from the public. There was a separate sign-in sheet for that. So that's it. All right. There'll be legislation later on in our meeting. All right. Comments of those other than council members. First, Kareem Pitts.
I saw this on the agenda as unfinished business, so I'm going to speak on it again. Some of the things I'm going to say I've said before, but they bear important repeat. Okay. When this ordinance came about requesting to double the mayor's salary, I stood here and read the reasons why we should not. As I stated previously, the mayor of Independence and has less staff and approximately 30,000 residents and got bumped up to 25,000 just recently. Erlanger has about 19,000 residents with a full staff. And I believe the mayor's position could maybe be bumped up to 17,000, but not 27,000. But tonight, I'm more concerned about a line that was slipped into the ordinance stating the role of the mayor will likely require a full-time mayor in the future. Let me remind you of how much staff we have at the city of Erlanger, a city of finance director and staff, city administrator, city clerk, economic development director, human resources administrator, assistant finance and human resources director, IT department head, police chief, fire chief, public safety director, public works director, other staff, along with fully staffed police, fire, and public works departments. This is top-notch staff alone should not be reason to know, this should be alone be a reason to know that Erlanger does not nor will not need a full-time mayor. If this is not a good enough reason, let me state a few more reasons. Mr. Hermes commented that offering more money and having the mayor as full-time position will bring more qualified candidates. I 100% disagree. It will bring a career-minded politicians wanting to use our city as a stepping stone. This leads to an overconcentration of power, abuse, special interest groups, pay-for-play politics, lack of transparency, corruption, and reduced checks and balances. A part-time mayor can and should come from all walks of life, remaining more connected to everyday residents and bringing real-world experience, which is an asset over a career politician who would require a much higher salary and benefits, wasting our taxpayer dollars and duplicating services. A full-time mayor will bring stress to our staff every 4 years as they wonder what will happen to their jobs, thus creating higher turnover and instability. Anyone who can run for office, anybody can run for office if they have a good self-promotion, campaigning, and money. However, it's much easier to remove a bad city administrator than a bad mayor. Our city's past and even under our current structure provides a more positive, consistent, and trustworthy work environment, ensuring city services are managed by someone with knowledge and experience rather than political motivations. This allows the part-time mayor to focus more on policy, representation, and oversight without blurred lines of staff management or micromanagement. Let's stop wasting time on this and solve problems, not expand bureaucracy and create more positions. I can name quite a few things our residents would rather see their tax dollars spent on, or more importantly, not spent on. I'm closing and suggesting that council reject this ordinance and remove it from consideration rather than proceeding with this first and second reading and continued conversations. Thank you.
All right, next is Bill Woodside.
Good evening, Mayor Fetty and City Council. My name is Bill Woodside. I presented to this body at the November 2025 City Council meeting about the issue of street creep and how it has affected our property. Since then, the city has engaged their insurance company, assigned an insurance adjuster who came out and evaluated the damage to our property, stated that he didn't feel qualified to really give a strong report to the city, so they engaged a geotechnical engineer. And so this has all taken a lot of time. In my address at the November meeting, I requested the city replace Oxford Court. It's the second oldest street in our subdivision. All other streets in our subdivision have been replaced. We have been dogging the city council since 2011 to replace this street. And if you drive on the street, the concrete panels are popping up, sinking. It feels like you're driving on a third world road. It is detracting from the value of our subdivision, and it is still pushing on the foundation of my house. Last year, I think it was, the city came out and put an expansion joint at the top of our cul-de-sac, but the weight of the concrete in the cul-de-sac is still pushing on our driveway, which is pushing on our foundation. And we put in, at our expense, an expansion joint between the garage foundation floor and our driveway. And that expansion joint was filled with I don't know what it is, but it's kind of a rubbery substance. It's semi-hard. You can poke it with your finger and it'll move around, but it's pretty stiff. That expansion joint is bulging up, which means that there is pressure being put on it, which means that the street is still moving. I'm confident that all city council members have received a copy of the geotechnical engineer's report. Could I see a show of hands of everybody that's seen that? Yeah. Nobody on city council has seen that report. That's interesting. I'd like to read from that report, which was submitted to the city a few weeks ago. If I can find it, bear with me, please.
Bill, we're beyond 3 minutes.
I'm sorry?
We're well beyond 3 minutes.
I may be well beyond 3 minutes, but this problem has caused our out-of-pocket expense of over $38,000. And at the meeting in November, I asked that we be reimbursed that money and that the city be replaced, or the street be replaced. Neither of those things have happened. And I'd like to read from the conclusion and recommendations from the geotechnical engineering report. After a comprehensive explanation of street creep, It is our opinion that street creep has occurred on Oxford Court and is the cause of the distress noted to the rear garage foundation wall of the residence at 3660 Oxford. This distress noted is consistent with street creep expansion to the south, pushing the driveway into the garage floor, which in return has moved laterally onto the top of the rear garage foundation wall, resulting in the foundation wall and brick veneer distress. The foundation is actually moved out from under the house from street creep. The joint between the driveway and the garage floor was reportedly added after the distress was noted to decouple the driveway from the garage floor so that continued driveway movement would not be translated to the floor and foundation. We recommend that an additional joint, similar to the existing, be added at the back of the curb along the full width of the driveway. The joint should be the full depth. So it's clear in this report that street creep has caused the damage to our house.
So, Mr. Woodside, I just want to confirm that has been put in, that the recommendation of the engineer, that work has been completed.
Not exactly, Mr. Gatlin. What was put in was some type of cardboard expansion paper covered with tar. And I have photographs, if you would be interested in seeing the shoddy work that was done. There are cracks in this stuff. Water's getting down into it. It's going to cause expansion when it freezes.
So I'm going to just, a couple things, and this is really for council's benefit. Obviously, at the point that, in our opinion, a claim was made in November, we turned this over to our insurance company, which we would any other claim, right? That's just the way we see it. And Collins and Company is handling the claim. Mr. Sherman is the one who you've been dealing with.
Sherman Cothran,
Yeah,
yes, sir.
and Sherman Cothran's been with Collins and Company for like my whole legal career. At Collins and Company's expense, or I should say at the insurance company's expense, there was a geotech brought in, and my understanding is that the work was performed based on the recommendation of the geotech. I understand you may still have a claim with our insurance company. We're sort of outside of that at this point, but I would be more than happy to meet with you and Mr. Quinn and our engineer, someone at VOX, to take a look at the work to make
Please.
sure that it was done.
Yes.
And at the end of the meeting, I can get your number. I know I have it here, but I don't think I have a cell phone number for you. And myself, Mr. Quinn, and the city engineer will go out there and we'll take a look at it, because obviously we want to do what the engineer at the insurance company, who is our agent, recommended for us to do, okay?
I understand. And so I would just ask at this point, where are we in the process of being reimbursed?
Sir, that is not up to this body. That would be up to the insurance company, and I don't know where that's at. I certainly can look into that tomorrow, and I can talk with Sherman, and when we meet at your house, I can kind of give you an update of where we're at with that, okay?
I would appreciate that.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Council, and thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. All right, Georgette Nordlow.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'm Georgette Nordlow, and I live at 37, wait a minute, where do I live? Thanks, 3657. Am I nervous? No. I would like to be added to that group that's going to meet with you, Mr. Gatlin.
Absolutely.
Thank you, because my house is also.
I understand. You are
getting
also
some
an
of-
apron that was right there next door.
Right, okay.
I gotcha.
All
I'm
right,
familiar.
Good, thank you.
Thank you.
I do have one picture of 9 copies of it, if somebody wants to see a part of the work that was done and showing how the gaps in the water will still flow in, or I can give it to Bill to turn in with all his others. But I just want to say I am very concerned, and I am very convinced that it's a street creep problem. And it's been going on, like Bill said, since 2011, presenting this problem of the street needing maintenance. According to the Kenton County street subdivision guidelines, the city is responsible every 3 years to the joint and crack seal. Every 3 years. That hasn't happened along our street. Also, they have to inspect the driveway apron expansion material for signs of pavement lengthening, take remedial action as necessary, and also localized failure repairs. That's just in the first 3 years. So every 3 years, these are the things that should be done. Then the major maintenance is around 17 years, and that's spot curb repair and spot slab repair. And then there's a number of things that are involved with the major maintenance, which is 34 plus years, and our street is, 35 years old. And there's quite a few things that should be followed there. So you can find this out on the PDS document that has to do with streets and subdivisions. This was written up in 2020, May of 2020, the new guidelines. So to end, I'm just going to say I'm all for beautification of Erlanger. I'm happy to hear about the Eons Park will be part of Erlanger eventually. But I'm hoping all this is not at the expense of residents. I really hope that the city will consider their responsibilities over the dreams for the future. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Mayor's report. I've composed a letter that will be sent to Bob Yeager and distributed across to the Transportation Cabinet and legislative body in Frankfurt tomorrow, right? Certified letter. Just reiterating the information that we've already given them. Our disagreement with the reconfiguration of Dixie Highway. I reached out to Jamie Wood this morning and asked if there was some kind of update. She said that they are waiting to hear from central office and that they should have some type of information later this week. So hopefully we'll get some kind of information on what direction they are going very, very soon. But this unfortunate decision is going to be made in Frankfurt. So if you are still waiting to send your opinion on this one, please get it done right now, because it'll be made by this Friday, hopefully. All right, City Administrator's report. Mr. Eads.
Yeah, I have some sweet news. It is June, which is National Candy Month, and Perfetti Van Mel, headquartered right here in Erlanger, is our business of the month. Typically, we would have a business spotlight, but we are filming that actually tomorrow at Airhead's 40th birthday. So that's very exciting that I'm also older than Airheads. So there's that. So keep an eye on our social channels for that video. We've had some one ribbon cutting on on May 16th, which was the Girl Scouts of Northern Kentucky, or Girl Scouts of Kentucky Wilderness Road, rather. Their beautiful new facility just around the corner from here. And then we'll also officially grand open Nature Med on June 4th at 9:30 a.m. Just a reminder, we post all of those on our social, and they are open to the public to attend. So if you see it, we'd love to have you there. More the merrier. And then there's a groundbreaking coming soon. Keep an eye on social for that, but it's happening over by Atlas Air, and it's super exciting. So our events calendar is pretty packed for summer, lots of free events for the community. We'd love to see every one of you there and your families. Depot Days kicked off today with a petting zoo, and that happens every Tuesday and Thursday. It's completely free, and it happens through July, so we'd love to see you there. The Northern Kentucky Mini Fitness Sampler is happening on Saturday, June 13th. Registration is filling up. We have over 100 already. It's going to be at Silver Lake Park. It's huge, so another event we'd love to see you at. And all of these can be found on our website and our social channels, so if you don't follow, just hit the subscribe button. You'll be up to date on all of that. So Erlanger is also racking up the awards on May 21st. Northern Kentucky Chamber of Commerce Business Council Awards took place at Turfway Park, and we were happy to see Baptist Life Communities, headquartered right here in Erlanger, took home an achievement award. So it was great to honor them for all of their great service to the city and to the residents of Baptist Life. And then on Thursday this week, the Chamber will honor its Outstanding Women of the Year, and Erlanger has not one, but two honorees. Karen Zengel, the Executive Director of St. Vincent de Paul, will be honored, as well as Erlanger Mayor and business owner Jessica Fetty. So we're very proud of both of our honorees, and very well deserved. So thank you.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Gatlin?
Nothing to report, Mayor.
All right, Mr. Eads, any capital projects or any other reports from the department heads? Okay. Sherry, you good? Okay. All right. Reports from task forces? All right. There's no bids. You have unfinished business. There's one topic.
Yes, Mayor, thank you. I wanted to ask that we speak about this again at the caucus meeting this month. I'd like it to be put on the agenda for that. The ordinance, I intend to adjust the ordinance so that it takes effect in 2031. I think we're getting bogged down in the thoughts of this happening around an election time, a contentious election, and people are thinking only about the people and not the broader concept of the mayor pay. So if we're pushing it to 2031, the idea is that I think a lot of us, maybe all of us, agree that the mayor should be paid more. Even Mrs. Pitts said that the mayor should be paid more. We just need to discuss how much that is going to be in 2031. So that's the purpose. So if we could put it on the agenda, I would appreciate it.
Okay, thank you. All right, Ms. Ruckers?
I had requested the salary survey. Thank you for sending that to me, but would you mind cascading it to everyone so that they have it as well? So the ad district has that granular detail around city size, budgets, for a comparison of all of the cities that are in our ad district. So it's a great tool, I think, for this dialogue, and we have it in hand, and it's up to date for 2026. So thank you.
Yes.
I would ask us to also add on the caucus meeting, if we're going to be talking about mayoral pay raises, then council pay raise as well. So if we can add that to the caucus, that would be awesome. Thanks.
Okay. All right. Any other unfinished business? Yep.
I would also like it added to the caucus meeting to discuss the fence and where we stand on the front yard fences for autistic children and aging people with dementia.
Okay. All right. Anybody else? Okay. Any new business?
Thank you. I do have a few requests for, that weren't really unfinished business, but they're new business for the caucus meeting. We had an email today from a resident who is requesting to make a presentation on street safety. I did email him, and I know he had requested 10 minutes, and I emailed him back and said, we typically only do 3 minutes for public comment, and I asked if maybe he would want to come to a caucus meeting. We have allowed other people, outside people, to come to caucus meetings in the past to make special presentations. So he emailed me back right before the meeting and said he couldn't come in June to our caucus meeting, but he wanted to see if he could come in July. So,
Do you mind if I ask you just a few questions? Because I might have missed that email.
Yeah.
Is he, what is his title? Like, what is his position that he is talking about street safety? Like,
he is a resident of Erlanger. He is a 20-year firefighter in Cincinnati, and he sent an email to all of council and you today asking if he could get 10 minutes on the July council meeting, and that's when I responded and said, we typically only give people 3 minutes for public comment, and I said I think there's more opportunity for a dialogue about it during a caucus meeting. Would you be open to that? And he said he couldn't come to the June caucus, but he could come to the July caucus.
I love this idea.
So, and he didn't say anything. I mean, he did reference he lives on Sherborne. He did specifically reference the speed study that was recently done on Sherborne. I assume he has a copy of that. So that's what he specifically wants to discuss.
Okay, so he's talking about like traffic safety.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Street safety, yes, I think is what he called it, but yes.
Okay.
I just feel like if somebody wants to come and give us a presentation on that, and I do feel like he is qualified to do that, then we should allow him to do that. So that was my request for, I guess, for the July caucus. When I originally put it on my notes, I was thinking June caucus, but then he sent an email and said July. So I realize it's a little preemptive, but I don't want to forget about it.
Okay.
The next thing is that I would like to add to the next caucus meeting to discuss changes to the ordinance for rules for procedure for meetings of the city council, specifically sections D and E, and I will bring proposed changes to that meeting.
Sorry, you said rules for procedures.
It is
sections what?
Rules for procedure for meetings of the city council ordinance. It is 31.06, specifically sections D and E.
Okay.
And I will bring proposed changes that night.
Okay.
Lastly, I want to take a few moments tonight to address the 67-page memorandum that was written by the mayor and emailed by Attorney Jack Gatlin on May 22nd regarding my communications with city staff. First and foremost, I want to speak to our city staff directly. If any email I have sent or any question I have raised has upset you or made you feel as though your hard work isn't recognized or appreciated, I sincerely apologize. That was never my intention. I see the work that you do for our community every day, and I am incredibly grateful for your dedication. My focus has always been on processes, systems, and finding efficiencies for our residents, never on attacking the personnel who keep our city running. However, I must firmly address the characterization of my communications in the mayor's memo. To label my inquiries as direct orders or an attempt to command city staff is a profound mischaracterization of the facts. The attached emails clearly show that I was asking questions, pointing out operational concerns, and requesting information required to do the job that I was elected to do. As a city council member, per KRS 83A.130, I have a statutory duty to provide legislative oversight, vote on budgets, and advocate for the residents of this city. To do that effectively, I must be able to ask questions about how tax dollars are spent and how services are delivered. Gathering information is not interfering with administration. It is the definition of legislative responsibility. Funneling a single council member's standard inquiries through outside legal counsel or imposing unique administrative restrictions doesn't just impact me. It limits transparency and hinders the legislative body as a whole. It also brings up questions about the overall transparency of the city and why so many questions have still gone unanswered. What is the city trying to hide? I am committed to maintaining a professional relationship with the executive branch and collaboration with our city staff. Moving forward, I welcome an open dialogue on how we can streamline communication protocols so that council can get the data we need to serve our constituents without placing an undue burden on staff. Now, since I am currently barred from communicating directly with city staff, and I'm to funnel all requests for information needed to serve as an effective council member through the mayor and Attorney Jack Gatlin, and since my previously submitted questions have gone unanswered, I'm going to ask them now, again, in a public meeting so the public is aware of the situation and the lack of transparency with our city government. Mind you, some of these requests are very basic. First, digital copy of the speed bumps report. On May 18th, I emailed the city administrator requesting a digital copy of the most recent speed bumps analysis done by our public works team, and done very well, I might add. This document was handed to council in paper form back in January, but it was never emailed to us. A resident has questions about speed bumps, and I simply want to email them the file. Prior councils have routinely received copies of past studies digitally, so this is not an unusual request. Regarding the discontinuation of passport services, on May 17th and May 20th, I emailed the city administrator regarding the notice sent to council about discontinuing passport services. I believe council should have been consulted or at least been made aware before this decision was finalized, as we shouldn't routinely eliminate services provided to our community. While I know this wasn't a massive revenue stream, we did collect fees. I am once again asking how many residents we served with passport applications over the past 12 months. Next, following our budget boot camp meeting, I submitted a series of questions directly to the mayor as requested. I have yet to receive answers to some of them, and I am asking them again tonight. Regarding the Eons Preserve Fund agreement and grants, I have received multiple inquiries from residents regarding the Eons Preserve Fund and its relationship with the city. For the sake of transparency, I previously requested that a formal agreement be created between Eons Preserve Fund and the city within the next 2 months to be approved by council. Is this agreement being created? If the answer is no, please just state that clearly so we know where things stand. Additionally, are the nonprofit and the city currently competing for the same grant funds? Next, regarding the long-term maintenance for Eons Park. We have spent exponentially more on Eons Park, including trails, parking lots, and trailheads, than our other city parks. While grants have funded some of these initial projects, council has still not had a conversation about how we are going to maintain these assets in the future. I would like this to be discussed at a future caucus meeting so we can understand what burden might be put on our taxpayers for these amenities. Next, I have requested historical park spending breakdown. To better understand our historical investments, I am requesting a breakdown of spending for each city park, individual city park, over the past 8 years. This breakdown should include expenditures on groundbreakings and ribbon cuttings, as well as any grant funds utilized. Next, I have requested the cost of the Silver Lake Park fitness equipment installation. We have purchased fitness equipment for Silver Lake Park this fiscal year, but we did not fund the installation of it, and I want to know what the anticipated installation cost is for that equipment. Next, Oxford Court street creep infrastructure issue. Finally, regarding the situation at Oxford Court, which you all have also heard about tonight, residents came before this council last November to notify us of a potential street creep issue. This seriously impacts our residents' property, and because council may need to allocate funds, city funds, to remedy it, this falls squarely within our legislative scope. I had to file an open records request just to get basic information about this issue that has been ongoing since 2012. I have been denied further answers under the blanket excuse of an open insurance claim and possible litigation. Respectfully, almost any municipal issue could theoretically turn into possible litigation at some point, and this is not a legitimate reason to withhold information from council. So my questions have been and still are, what is the city planning to do going forward to fix the street creep that has already occurred and will likely continue? What are we doing to investigate and address other streets that may be facing similar issues? And can administration be specific about what is currently being done to address the damage affecting the property on Oxford Court? And is the city's insurance paying for these repairs, or is the city paying directly? Now, it sounds like the residents at least are going to get some of those answers, hopefully. So hopefully council can also be given those answers. In closing, these are not adversarial questions, and I'm certainly not giving any orders to anyone. These are basic matters of city infrastructure, fiscal responsibility, and community service. I look forward to receiving formal written responses to these items so that we can move forward transparently. Thank you.
Thank you. Yep.
All right, legislation. A municipal order of the City of Erlanger in Kenton County, Kentucky, making the written determinations required by KRS 82083 for the sale or other disposition of property owned by the city. You can see attached to this ordinance are the items that are being disposed of. They are all, it's all equipment from fire EMS. We've got a Stryker power cot, a Stryker manual cot, and 4 Physio Control Life Pack cardiac monitors. All due to age and condition is the reason for disposal, and the disposal method is trade-in.
All right. Do I entertain a motion that we adopt this municipal order as read? Ms. Reckers, Mr. Farmer, any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, motion carried.
Next, we have a municipal order of the City of Erlanger in Kenton County, Kentucky, approving the mayor's reappointment of Jana Herman as a member of the Kenton County Joint Code Enforcement Board. This it runs through June 30th, 2029.
All right, do I entertain a motion that we adopt this municipal order as read? Ms. Wilson, Mr. Hermes, any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, motion carried.
Next, we have a resolution of the City of Erlanger adopting and approving the execution of the Municipal Aid Co-op Program contract between the City of Erlanger and the Commonwealth of Kentucky Transportation Cabinet, Department of Rural and Municipal Aid for the fiscal year beginning July 1, 2026, as provided by KRS. You can see that the funding this year is $375,964.49, and that was previously discussed by Mr. Eads as to how that will be included in the $2.5 million budgeted amount for roads this year.
All right, do I adopt or entertain a motion that we adopt as presented? Ms. Reckers, Ms. Fields, any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, motion carried. Any announcements this evening? Yes.
I just wanted to remind council that the City of Erlanger is hosting the mayor's meeting on Saturday, June 20th, between 9 and 11.
Okay, do I entertain a motion that we adjourn? Oh,
I'm not used to doing this, but I thought that I was going to be able to.
We are beyond public comment. Can we get together after the meeting? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just wasn't sure how everything worked.
I'm sorry, there's a sign-in sheet.
I didn't see a sign-in sheet.
You can come to the microphone. Yeah. I just had to get approval and make sure I...
My name's Ella Marlene Courtney. I live at 3500 Jacqueline Drive in Erlanger. And I'm very concerned. I've been over there for over 20 years. My kids were actually raised there by their dad on the same street. There are a lot of children there opposed to 20 years ago, including my grandchildren. And they play on the cul-de-sac. There's cars parked on the cul-de-sac. And if you're familiar with Jacqueline, it's right off of Stevenson, and the stop sign, nobody ever really stops there. And I'm just really concerned that a child's going to get hurt. They speed down that road. It's 25 miles an hour. Stevenson's 30 miles an hour. So I'm hoping to get some kind of resolution as far as maybe speed bumps, signs put up, children at play, because these kids have nowhere to, they can't sit in the house 24/7. And they're all starting their own little gang. They're all at about the same age, and they're just all playing, riding their bikes or scooters, whatever the case may be. And I took it upon myself to put up slow down signs, children at play, just in my yard, and then on the, yes. And I've had people take them down. I've put them back up. And I would just really hope that it will be addressed. It's very serious matter. And the cul-de-sac, people shouldn't even be parking there because the fire department, they can't, there's nowhere to turn around. And then it hides the kids from the stop sign. You can't see the kids. So it's becoming a real issue. And I just hope that we can find some kind of resolution, whether, again, be the speed bumps or signs put up on the speed limit sign and the stop sign.
Well, Lieutenant Claire is in the back, so if we can bring some special attention and maybe do the speed radar and put some attention on the stop signs like we have done in other neighborhoods that are having this type of issue, if we can just increase patrol. Yes.
Yeah, I had a quick question. When you put the signs up, did you notice it made a difference?
For the people who care. For the people that took them down prior, no.
I mean, do you think that a sign could do it? If it was a city sign, do you think that could help?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, good.
And again, these kids are growing up together, and everybody knows how we played on cul-de-sacs, you know? And I just would hate for, including my grandchildren, to get hit by a car before anything's done.
Yes.
Okay. And
I just wanted to mention, we have had conversations in the past about the cul-de-sac parking issue, because it's an issue all over Erlanger. I feel like, I know that we've talked about, you know, that we don't prohibit it in cul-de-sacs. However, I feel like Jacqueline is somewhat of an exception to some of the other places where we do allow it, because there are literally so many cul-de-sacs on Jacqueline Drive. And so many of those houses have either no garage or a very small driveway. There, you have to use on-street parking. So I feel like it's a little bit of a unique situation. So I wonder if we might add that to our next caucus meeting again.
well, the driveways on the part of Jacqueline that I live on has plenty. I mean, there's plenty of spots
I just
to
mean
park in their driveway.
my concern is if we take away the cul-de-sac parking, sometimes we're taking away parking for some people that don't have anywhere else to park. I guess that's my reason for saying we probably need to have a conversation about it.
Right.
Because I think, I'm with you. My husband who's here tonight grew up on Jacqueline, so we're very familiar with Jacqueline Drive. Ms. Reckers lived on Jacqueline Drive. My dad lived on Concord. I'm very familiar with it. So I think that area over there is a little bit unique, where right now we allow cul-de-sac parking everywhere, and maybe we need to be a little bit more selective about where we do and don't. That was my only point.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, I will say, like, I believe where you're describing is the very first cul-de-sac.
Yes.
It's very congested. It's a very real issue. There's a blind spot. It is something I would love to have further conversation about. Specifically that one, I feel like with the other three, they're more open with the removal of the island and then the other island. Like, it's just a different dynamic. There's no blind spot.
Right.
There's the one at the top is problematic. I go down it 6 times a week, and it's a problem.
And the people coming off of Stevenson, I understand they're at a certain speed, but they need to slow down before they get to the stop sign.
Yeah.
And those kids, I mean, I'm really concerned about the children.
Okay.
That's it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you for letting me speak.
Of course. All right. Did we have a motion to adjourn? Mr. Hermes, Ms. Wilson, any discussion? All in favor say aye.